this is because they struck major air bases, including the one at La Carlota and the Iguarota Airport, where Maduro's Air Force of MiG fighter jets could have launched from to intercept them. We see the aftermath of the destroyed armored vehicles on base here. Pulling together a response was difficult for Maduro's forces because Fort Tiona, the military installation, housed some of the most high level military generals, and once it was hit, it sent them all into chaos. In dictatorships, sometimes they keep all of their decision making military officials central in one single consolidated location, which is useful for maintaining control, but on the other hand, it has the downside of a single point of failure or weakness. Explosions hit the port Agua, which is one of Venezuela's most strategically important ports that controls regime linked money. These shaping operations were designed to cause confusions and disorientation in Maduro's forces. Because what stunned military observers about this assault was that helicopters were the defining feature. Combat footage showed Marine Corps Viper and what appeared to be Army Apaches striking ground targets with rockets. And typically, these rotor aircraft are vulnerable and exposed without ground support alongside it. There are relatively slow moving and often easy targets, these helos, or even handheld enemy air defense weapons. The fact that they were used in this raid indicates how confident U.S. war planners were that they would have total air supremacy at this point. But the question is, why weren't any American helicopters shot down by some of the reportedly 5,000 man-panned Igloo launchers? How was the resistance so ineffective? There are several different theories and answers, and it actually takes us down a really weird, strange, almost conspiratorial rabbit hole. So strap in. The overwhelming combat firepower the U.S. had amassed over the 6 months made resistance difficult. On top of that, polls show that Maduro was unpopular with 10 to 20% approval ratings due to people being exhausted over Venezuela's economic crisis and the political repression in the country. So maybe few were excited to put their lives on the line for Maduro. Sources from Venezuela's opposition, however, told Sky News reporters that Maduro's capture was actually a negotiated exit, not a forceful capture. Meaning they're claiming that Maduro actually knew American forces were coming to capture him and that he had agreed to it prior, and this ground assault was an elaborate way of him giving himself up to American authorities. Why would he do that? For domestic audiences in Venezuela, it theoretically looks better for him to say, I was captured by the Americans, than I cut a deal and laughed. It was surprising to experts that Maduro's wife was brought with him, because this is very unusual in rendition military operations like this. His wife was previously not criminally charged, and we only just learned that she's now also being charged after their capture. However, there is yet to be any actual hard evidence of this, even though a surrender may have been negotiated